Hey, it's Jason. So without question, one of the most popular and most influential cameras that has really redefined the vlogging space is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This was one of the first handheld gimbal-mounted cameras that had a 1-inch sensor, and it essentially blew everyone's minds in terms of how good it performs in terms of video quality. I literally just got back from a trip from Asia where I shot with my personal Osmo Pocket 3 the entire time, and I too was blown away at how amazing the footage came out. So you can imagine how psyched I was when DJI reached out and invited me to Cancun, Mexico to check out both the Osmo Pocket 4 and the new and heavily hyped Osmo Pocket 4P, their follow-up devices to the goated Pocket 3. And despite being in quite possibly one of the most beautiful resorts in Mexico, my nerdy butt spent the entire time thoroughly testing out both of these cameras, really digging into the similarities and key differences, all in an effort to help you decide which new Osmo Pocket is the right one for you. Now, before we jump in, a real quick plug for the JSL newsletter. I send subscribers out a brand new full-res wallpaper every single week, as well as links to really good tech deals and fun articles written by me. It's totally free. The link to subscribe will be in the description down below. Okay, first, let's talk about the hardware and physical design similarities and differences between the Osmo Pocket 4 and the 4P. They both retain a lot of that Osmo Pocket DNA that a lot of us are familiar with, but they also have some key updates. First of all, they both have DJI's signature screen flip design that quickly powers on and activates both the Pocket 4 and the 4P. You do get the familiar joystick and record button at the bottom of the units, but an important thing to note is that DJI upgraded the joystick to be more pronounced and is way easier to use compared to the Pocket 3, and this is a very welcome change. It's so much smoother and easier to navigate than the Pocket 3, and this is quite an improvement. Something that's new is that the Pocket 4 and the 4P have two additional buttons over here that the Pocket 3 does not have. One is used as a dedicated zoom button, which we'll talk a little bit more in detail in just a second, and the other one is a custom button that you can map to a specific function. Now, I love this addition because you can assign up to 3 different actions on it based on how many times you tap it, and it can be a serious time saver if you're switching between modes often or if you're frequently going into selfie mode. Now, although both the Pocket 4 and the 4P have similar dimensions at its base, both do have improved battery capacities compared to the Pocket 3, with the 4 having an operating time of around 240 minutes on a full charge. The 4P has an operating time of around 210 minutes, so slightly less than the 4, but both do support fast charging through USB Type-C as well as faster data transfer, which is also a great addition. This is because both the 4 and the 4P have internal storage baked into the units themselves, in addition to having access to microSD. The Pocket 4 has 107 gigabytes of internal storage, while the 4P has 103 gigabytes, and this is such a useful upgrade. I can't tell you how many times I've taken out my Pocket 3 only to realize that I forgot to put in my SD card, rendering it useless, so having a pretty large amount of internal storage available is super useful. Now, both still retain a gimbal-mounted camera form factor that made the Osmo Pocket a star, continuing to provide users with stabilized footage, but the main and obvious difference between the Osmo Pocket 4 and the 4P is the number of cameras each have. The Pocket 4, much like the Pocket 3, has a single gimbal-mounted camera for a near identical look to its predecessor. The Pocket 4P, on the other hand, has a much larger 2-camera setup, one main camera with a 20mm equivalent focal length and a dedicated telephoto camera with a 60mm equivalent focal length in this vertically housed new layout. Now, both the 4 and the 4P have 1-inch main sensors, with the Pocket 4P's telephoto zoom camera having a slightly smaller sensor, and this is a pretty important differentiator between the two offerings. One of the limitations of the Osmo Pocket lineup has been a lack of versatility when it comes to focal lengths, as the main cameras up to this point have all been wide angle, which allows you to get the most into the frame. And even though the Pocket 4 does have a pretty handy 2x lossless digital zoom that performs quite well, it doesn't give you that same flexibility to get more of a compressed, tighter shot like the Pocket 4P. With its optical 3x zoom that can also provide a lossless digital zoom at up to 6x and a max zoom range at up to 12x, the 4P allows you to get close-up shots at a level of quality that just didn't exist before on any previous Osmo Pocket. So if you're looking for that extra versatility when it comes to those zoomed in shots, this is something that you're definitely going to want to keep in mind. Now, before we get into how the main sensors perform and all of the new features, I was given access to the creator kits for each of these respective cameras, so I want to quickly go over some of what comes in each of these bundles. First, they both come with an extension mount that clips onto the base of the Osmo Pocket, which allows you to screw on the included tripod legs while still having access to USB Type-C. They both also come with these nice carrying pouches that have different compartments to carry accessories, memory cards, etc. Now, one of the new accessories included in the creator bundle for both is this new fill light. It attaches magnetically to the back of the head of the camera and can then be toggled on in the settings, and here's a quick look at how it performs. So I'm shooting at night and I'm not using any fill light, and you can see that the exposure on my face isn't the best. This is what it looks like with the little fill light on. Okay, so you can see a lot more light, maybe a little bit too much, and this can actually be adjusted in the settings, so you can change the brightness level as well as the color temperature. So let me try doing that. Okay, so it's actually on the lightest setting. We can make it brighter and really bright, probably too bright. And it's currently on cool. I'm gonna go to natural. It's a little bit warmer, and warm, which is really warm. So this might kind of give it more of a moody look. Let's take a look. It's actually not bad. I kind of like the way that it looks, but the fill light is a very easy to use attachment and very good at night. Also included in the creator bundle for both is a DJI Mic 3 wireless microphone, as well as a magnetic clip for the mic and a couple of windscreens. This is a pretty great inclusion, as I'm a big fan of DJI's wireless mics, and it's super easy to use and it can make quite a big difference when it comes to audio. Here's a quick look at how it performs. Okay, so this is a quick test of the onboard audio on the Osmo Pocket 4P. This is the microphone that's actually built into this camera itself. There's a lot of ambient noise here, so I'm curious to see how it performs. So this is an audio test of the Osmo Pocket 4P with the DJI Wireless Mic 3 connected. This is a super easy connection. All you have to do is turn it on and it automatically connects. This should do a lot better when it comes to picking up just my audio and isolating it as opposed to just bringing in a lot of ambient noise. And this is a great combo because it makes life so much easier, especially when you're on the go. Now, one of the accessories that the Pocket 4P comes with in the creator bundle that the Pocket 4 doesn't get is this little unit called the Frame Tap. It's a wireless viewfinder and remote that connects to the Pocket 4P and allows you to wirelessly frame yourself up using the built-in joystick, and also start and stop record, which is great if you're out filming by yourself trying to get that perfect shot. But let's get into the key features and main sensor performance between the Pocket 4 and the 4P. Both can shoot in 4K resolution at up to 60 frames per second in normal landscape video mode, and 3K resolution when put in the vertical aspect ratio. And when shooting in full auto mode in the normal 10-bit color profile, both the Pocket 4 and the 4P perform very close. You can see in this comparison footage that there's almost no visible difference between the two in normal lighting conditions. Both do well with colors and managing exposure well, and generally speaking, the quality using the auto settings is actually really good. This is great if you're not someone who's familiar with camera settings and you want a high quality, easy to use out-of-the-box solution. Both the Pocket 4 and the 4P can provide you with a very high quality video experience in a matter of seconds. Now, DJI also added baked-in new film tones that gives your footage a more stylized look. This is great if you don't know how to color grade, but you want more of that moody aesthetic, as all you have to do is toggle on the tone that you want. But if you're more of a camera enthusiast or a pro in this arena, you can use the pro settings, and this really gets us into the other main differentiator between the 4 and the 4P, and that's the advanced color settings. Now, both of these cameras can shoot in a 10-bit log format, which allows users to shoot in this flat color profile that gives you a lot more data that you can then color grade in post, which really maximizes the quality out of these 1-inch sensors. The Pocket 4 can shoot in DJI's 10-bit D-Log that allows for up to 14 stops of dynamic range, which is super impressive, as the beloved Pocket 3 was kind of capped at around 10 to 12 stops and only access to D-Log M. Now, the Pocket 4P, in addition to having access to D-Log, it can now shoot in DJI's new 10-bit D-Log 2 format and can achieve up to a whopping 17 stops of dynamic range. Now, I'm going to be upfront and say that I'm definitely not a professional colorist by any means, but I was able to color grade footage coming out of the Pocket 4 in D-Log and the 4P in D-Log 2, and here's a side-by-side comparison. I'd say that in normal lighting conditions, the footage coming out of both are quite similar and very good in terms of quality. DJI continues to impress here as the video grades really well. The same goes for indoor shots where you don't have as much light because they both have large 1-inch sensors. Both the Pocket 4 and the 4P do surprisingly well in low lit conditions. Now, performance in terms of dynamic range is better illustrated in tougher lighting situations like you're seeing here, where I'm shooting directly into the sun, and you can see that both do a very good job at not completely blowing out the highlights and still retaining a good amount of details in the shadows. I will say that the 4P does do better here as you're able to obtain more clarity and details in the brightest and darkest parts of the footage, but the regular Pocket 4 does a pretty solid job in its own right. Now, something to keep in mind, D-Log 2 is only supported right now with the main camera on the Pocket 4P, so you can't use it for the telephoto, but you can use D-Log for that. Now, a couple new features that DJI added to both of these cameras that are also super easy to use. Number one, the Pocket 4 and the 4P can now shoot slow motion in 4K resolution at up to 240 frames per second. This allows you to get those ultra slow motion shots with ease, and it's pretty incredible that you're able to do this in 4K on such a compact mobile camera. Both of these cameras also have improved dedicated night modes, which helps a lot if you're shooting in ultra low light conditions and you don't have access to that fill light. Here's a quick look at how it performs. Okay, so I've turned on dark mode on both cameras. So this is dark mode on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P, and this is dark mode on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. This is a dedicated mode where you're in low light. It helps kind of bring in some light to make sure that you're somewhat exposed, even in a pretty dark environment like you just saw. And I think both are actually doing a pretty decent job despite kind of being in this artificial lighting. It looks pretty natural, and I think ultimately a good thing to have, especially if you're shooting at night. Both the Pocket 4 and the 4P also come with DJI's improved tracking capabilities and now support hand gesture support, which is great if you're solo shooting. Lifting up your palm will engage and disengage the face tracking, and the peace sign will start and stop recording, and these gestures work really well. And the tracking capability is significantly improved from the Osmo Pocket 3. You can see how even when I go in and out of the frame or I have multiple different people in the shot, it keeps its target on me without getting lost. So despite the Pocket 4 and the 4P looking and feeling familiar to the older Osmo Pockets of the past, they do provide users with a lot of solid upgrades, but which one's the right one for you? Well, if you're someone who knows their way around a camera's manual settings and you know how to color grade and you're wanting the most versatility when it comes to getting footage, the Pocket 4P is the way to go. It's pretty incredible how capable this small camera is, especially now with that dual camera setup and the ability to shoot in D-Log 2. And if you have the skills to extract the most out of it, the Pocket 4P, in my opinion, is worth the extra money. But if you're more of a novice or someone who's looking to use this camera as a way to start learning how to vlog, or you just want an easy to use camera that you can quickly take out to get good stabilized 4K video without having to overthink anything, the Pocket 4 probably makes better sense. It's still immensely capable, and it still gives you access to shoot in D-Log if you want to learn how to color grade, and it's cheaper, which is always a good thing. Now, I will be doing more long-term follow-up reviews for both the Osmo Pocket 4 and the 4P, so make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on those. But now that you guys have seen both in action, which one do you think is better? The pro-focused Pocket 4P or the regular Pocket 4? Curious to get your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. And in case you guys missed my most recent reviews, definitely check them out here. You're not going to want to miss them.